The number 10 car on this list is the True Fade Z-Type. And full disclosure, like almost every single car on this list, I had to look them up. I mean, I wasn't alive in 1935 when Bugatti decided to make this Atlantic, but for only $950,000 on the game, it's definitely a history lesson well worth taking. I mean, just look at the design of this ride. It's got the V12 engine, and we're gonna keep pretty much everything on all these cars stock. You got the wood grain steering wheel, clean look on the inside, bucket seats. I really like what they did with this car. Split windshield on both the front and the back, tire where the trunk go. No clue where your luggage is going, but who cares? I'm styling, baby. And speaking of styling, make sure you style right on over to that like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you're new, turn on the post notification bell so you do not miss a thing. Let's go. And now for number 9 on the list, the benefactor Stirling GT. The German-made Mercedes-Benz 300 SL is exceptionally designed, handmade from head to toe. Everybody knows that. And for only $975,000, you couldn't make a better purchase on the game. The only thing I changed on this vehicle was I chrome tipped out the exhaust and I switched up the wheels to give them a more classic look, and I chromed those out. That's it. Other than that, man, she looks just fine on her own, and the way she opens up is like none other than the game. Look at that, man. Clean on the inside, you can see how fast you're going, and chrome plated valve covers on a V8 engine. Let's go. She gives you a little bit of a drift. The performance was pretty solid as far as speed goes. We got her up around 110 miles an hour, but again, on all of these vehicles, I can't stress it enough, they're classics, so we're more concerned about how they look, really. And now for number 8 on the list, the Dubachi JB700. Not to be confused with the JB700 that's over in Warstock for $1.47 million. The guns that you see on the front, they're just for show on this one, okay? So for only $350,000, you're only gonna get the guns that do not work. I just want to make that clear. But nevertheless, man, you know what the JB is supposed to stand for. I'm not gonna say the names. I don't know how that affects anything. But it's modeled after the Aston Martin DB5. I had to look that up as well. I know I'd seen the car in the movies, but still, I didn't know the name of it. But she's really clean. Didn't change a thing on her, except maybe the exhaust, I think. Here's another one of these V12s that don't perform like V12s, but I get it. It's cool. I'm hoping that in the future GTA 6, that if the rumors are true and we can get the real life names of these vehicles, that hopefully we can get a more accurate portrayal of the real life performances of the same vehicle. So we'll see. And now for number 7 on the list, the Pagasi Infernus Classic. Man, growing up in the late 80s, there was 2 Lamborghinis that you absolutely had to have as a kid, and the Diablo is one of them. For $915,000, there was no way in the world I was going to pass up on the opportunity to have one. I mean, just look at her. She's the perfect date. She's fast. She's clean. Pagasi is etched everywhere, just as Lamborghini probably would be. I mean, damn, trunk in the front, engine in the back, naturally with the spoiler. Whew. Dual titanium tip exhaust, aftermarket black chrome rims, Z-rated tires, black limo tint, butterfly doors. Nothing in the world says you're rich and fly like a Lambo. Let's get it, huh? She absolutely hugs every single turn. No reason for a test drive, but we did one anyway. So let's move it right along to the number 6 car on the list, the Dubachi Rapid GT Classic. Now here's another one of these awesome cars that I never would have known the exact name of it had I not looked it up. And for $885,000, the 1969 Aston Martin V8 is indeed a classic. I've been getting hit up a lot in some of these other videos I've been doing, asking me to put this car on the list. Well, here it is. Ruby red, classic red, whatever you want to call it. That is an awesome color for this vehicle. V8 engine, chrome, aluminum valve covers, I'm not sure either way, but the wood grain paneling inside of this vehicle is probably the best that I've seen on any of these cars on this list. Just look at that. Plenty of room in the trunk. It's Los Santos, so you can use your imagination on some of the things that can go in there. As far as driving, she drives great, plenty of power. Not quite sure exactly how fast we got her, but she can drift. She can get your drift on, so we can assume that she's got plenty of power to do everything that you're going to want to do on the game. And now for number 5 on the list, the Infernus Coquette Classic. Now this one I knew. this car I absolutely knew was a 1963 Corvette, and for only $695,000, you've got a lot of liveries to choose from. It's probably one of the better looking cars on the game, and it's not even that expensive. We went with the classic blue. You can't go wrong with that. Now, we did switch up the exhaust on the chrome tip. I swapped out the tires for a set of drag radials, as well as I changed up on the chrome rims to a set that was out of the muscle collection. But other than that, I left her alone because she was gorgeous just on her own, man. What a ride. Clean on the inside, just the way I like her. And she's one of the best performing vehicles on this list. It has really good stability and handling, underrated top end speed. I'll be honest with you, I really had a lot of fun driving and drifting in this car. I'm sure you will too. And now for number 4 on the list, the Albany Roosevelt Valor. Man, tell me how many of you guys knew that this car is notoriously known as the Al Capone town sedan, because I had not a clue. Built in 1928, the Cadillac V8 is really a classic car in every single sense of the word. No need to explain, just look at it. I was thinking it was a Model T, but what the hell do I know? You got an actual trunk as the trunk? I never noticed that before. But yeah, for only $982,000, there's good reason as to why I see this car show up at many of my car meets that we hold 2 times a week, every Wednesday and Saturday, because she looks good. Whether it's the inside wood grain paneling, the bench seats on both front and back, the V12 engine, I mean, this car spells prohibition / there's a mobster driving inside written all over it. I did manage to take this car on a road test. While I have absolutely no idea why I'm doing that, because if you purchase this car for speed or anything other than looks, you made a poor decision. And now for number 3 on the list, the classy Mamba. This is probably one of my favorite looking cars in the entire game. A ton of liveries. It's beautiful. $995,000. Don't worry about the money, just buy it. Based off of the AC Cobra, in the US is commonly referred to as the Shelby Cobra. I really believe Shelby is incapable of designing a car that isn't gorgeous as well as performs top notch. I like the head and fog lights on this vehicle. The inside is clean and uniquely different from all the other cars on this list, and you got a rag top that'll drop down for a summertime breeze, baby. Plenty of power under the hood with a V8 engine. This car is beautiful. This car is stylish. This car is dope personified. Just look at them wheels, man. And as far as the performance goes, she handles great. She drifts like a boss. Probably some of the best controlled drifting that I was able to do during any of these drive tests. I love the way she looks on the inside. Good top end speed. No reason not to have it. And now for number 2 on the list, the Pegassi Torero. Early in this video, I mentioned that there were 2 Lamborghinis growing up as a kid that I had to have, and this was the other one. The Lamborghini Countach was one of my favorite ones, hands down. For $998,000, I hope it's going to be one of your favorite ones as well. Now, no clue why this car stock does not come with a spoiler. I don't even understand a Lamborghini without a spoiler, so I had to throw one up there. That's the only thing that I changed on this car, as well as putting some aftermarket chrome rims on it. But I love the video game look from the inside, and look at the retro AC control module. Oof. Trunk in the front, engine in the back. I don't know a Lamborghini any other way. Now on for another unnecessary road test, because like I said earlier, on the Lamborghini, what do you need to know? You know it's going to be fast. You know you're going to have fun driving it. And now for number 1 on the list, the Ennis Stafford. Coming in as the most expensive car on this list at $1.272 million, it's also the only vehicle on this list without the word classic behind the name. But nevertheless, being a 1959 Rolls Royce, I think we'd all agree that if that's not a classic year, then what the hell is? It's got a ton of liveries to choose from, but in my opinion, I wouldn't use any of them, but I get it. I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't see one of those liveries a time or two at some of our car meets. But I would go with a classic white or black, but you guys are really good at that color scheme stuff, so it's got a 2-tone option. I'd love to see what you guys would do to it. It's perfect by itself. It doesn't need me to sell it at all. The V8 engine, the way the hood opens up is really unique. I didn't even know that the Bentley does that. I'm sorry, the Rolls Royce does that in real life. The spare tire compartment is something unique I'd never seen before, and the inside is super clean, man. You got to take your shoes off. Just look at that. So yeah, man, you can pick up every single vehicle on this list for just over $9 million. But if you need a list of cars with a better budget in mind, check out top 5 cars under $500K to the right, or top 5 best muscle cars to the left.